I was standing outside my son's daycare when my phone buzzed. The text was from Derek, my ex-husband. Hey, just wanted to let you know, Brittany and I are flying to London tonight. Starting fresh. I transferred the money from our account. You'll need to handle rent and Caleb's stuff on your own now. Good luck. My hands were shaking. I was terrified, the kind where your whole body goes numb. Around me, other parents were laughing, collecting their kids. And I was staring at words that were supposed to destroy my life. But here's what Derek didn't know. I'm Rachel Johnson. I'm 32 years old, and I work as an administrative assistant at an accounting firm in Charlotte. I've been divorced from Derek for 6 months after 8 years of marriage. We have a 5-year-old son named Caleb, and I had been waiting for exactly this moment for the past 3 months. I typed back 4 words, "Thanks for letting me know." Then I collected Caleb, who came running with his backpack bouncing, yelling "Mommy." He had no idea his father just tried to abandon us. But what happened in the next 72 hours would change everything. Derek and I got married when I was 24. And for a while, I believed in the future we'd build. But our marriage didn't end with drama or screaming. It died slowly over years of me carrying everything while Derek lived like he was single. I worked full-time 40 hours a week, sometimes more during tax season. Then I'd come home and care for Caleb. Homework, dinner, baths, bedtime stories. I paid all the bills. I organized everything. Derek? He worked his job, sure. But after work, he was out with friends, playing video games until 2 a.m. When I asked him to help more, he'd say he was tired. 8 years of marriage. 5 years of being a single parent while technically having a partner. So 6 months ago, I asked for divorce. And he seemed relieved, like I'd freed him from some obligation. The marriage was already dead. The divorce was just paperwork. 3 weeks after we agreed to divorce, Derek showed up with her. Brittany, 24 years old, nails so perfect they looked like they'd never touched a dish. She smiled at me like we were about to become best friends. We met at a cafe the next day. I ordered coffee. She ordered something complicated with oat milk. For 20 minutes, I watched her. Listened. Every single question she asked revolved around our properties, our savings, Derek's future plans. Not one question about Caleb. Just, Derek mentioned you guys have a house, are you selling it? And he said you've been saving, that must be nice. I smiled and answered vaguely. But inside, alarm bells were screaming. When I warned Derek later, told him I didn't trust her, he laughed. You're just jealous, Rachel. My life isn't your problem anymore. He was right. His life wasn't my problem. But Caleb's life? That was my everything. 2 months passed, and I started noticing things. Brittany would post photos of fancy restaurants, designer bags, all funded by Derek. She'd talk about their future plans in this dreamy voice. Then one day she mentioned London. We're thinking about moving there, she said casually. Fresh start, you know? That night, I asked Derek directly, if you move to London, what happens to Caleb? He shrugged. He can visit. Eventually. My hands were shaking. I was furious, the kind that burns cold. But I didn't yell. I just nodded. Because here's what Derek didn't know about me. I'd spent 5 years at Morton & Associates. I'd seen dozens of divorce cases. I'd watched lawyers track hidden accounts, document irresponsible behavior. I'd learned how people protect their assets when betrayal is coming. During all those years when Derek thought I was just quietly paying bills, I had been learning, observing, preparing. So I made calls. I contacted Keisha Brown, a lawyer I'd met through work. Sharp woman who didn't waste time. I laid out everything, Derek's plans, Brittany's gold digging. Can he legally drain our savings and leave? I asked. Keisha smiled. Not if you move first. Over 3 weeks, I built my strategy. I moved our real savings, $42,000, into a protected educational trust fund for Caleb, one requiring both parents' signatures. I documented 2 years of expenses showing I'd covered 90% of Caleb's costs. I recorded conversations where Derek mentioned London like Caleb was an afterthought. The $800 in our joint checking. That's all I left. I didn't tell him. Just waited. And then came that Tuesday. That text. Derek thought he was abandoning me. He had no idea I'd been 3 steps ahead the entire time. I responded with those 4 words and waited. Caleb and I went home. I made him chicken tenders, his favorite. We watched cartoons. I tucked him in and read Where the Wild Things Are twice. And I waited. 2 hours later, my phone rang. Keisha. It worked, she said, grinning through the phone. His cards were denied at London airport. Hotel, restaurants, everything. Security approached him because he was screaming at an ATM. I laughed. Actually laughed for the first time in weeks. The account with real money is a protected trust, Keisha continued. He can't touch it without your signature. The joint account had $800. That's it. $800. In London. With Brittany expecting luxury. He's trapped, I said quietly. Completely. He can't resolve anything without flying home and signing documents. I thanked Keisha and hung up. Then I sat in the dark and breathed. Derek tried to abandon his son. And now he was stranded in a foreign country with nothing. But I wasn't done yet. The next evening my phone buzzed. Unknown number. Rachel? It's Brittany. Please, I need to talk to you. It's urgent. I called her. Rachel, thank God, she gasped. Her voice was completely different. No sweetness, just panic. Derek's cards aren't working. None of them. We're stuck and he's losing his mind and please, can you help? Help how? Send money? Fix the accounts? Anything. I let silence sit heavy. Tell me the truth, Brittany. All of it. She hesitated. Then it spilled out. She'd targeted Derek deliberately. Found him on a dating app, researched his property records before their second date. She'd planned the London trip to get him away from responsibilities, from Caleb. I thought you'd have your own money, she said, voice breaking. I didn't know he couldn't access anything. Now he's furious at me, blaming me for the cards not working. Is he there now? No. He went to find Wi-Fi. Been gone 2 hours. I took a breath. Brittany, I can help you. But only you. Not Derek. What do you mean? I'll transfer money for a flight home. Tonight. But you disappear completely. Block Derek's number. Just leave. Why would you do that? Because I want Derek to learn this lesson by himself. Without distractions. Without anyone to blame but himself. Silence. Heavy, thick silence. Okay. I transferred $500 that night. She sent me her boarding pass 2 hours later. And Derek? He woke up the next morning completely alone. Just a note. I can't do this. I'm sorry. No money. No girlfriend. No way home. Just himself and his choices. 2 days passed. Silence. I took care of Caleb like always. School, homework, dinner. My son kept asking when he'd talk to Daddy. Then at 3 a.m. Friday, my phone rang. Derek. I answered. Hello. Rachel. His voice was wrecked. I'm still in London. The hotel kicked me out. I've been sleeping in the airport. Brittany left. She just disappeared. I said nothing. I know I have no right, he continued, crying now. Actually crying. But I need help. I need to come home. I need to see Caleb. Please. For the first time in 8 years, I heard something real. Raw. Desperate honesty. Before I agree, I said quietly, you need to hear something. During these 3 days you've been alone, I've been here caring for Caleb. Like always. Taking him to school, helping with homework, consoling him because he asks why Daddy hasn't called. Derek made a sound like something shattered. You tried to abandon him, I continued. Not me. Him. Your 5-year-old son. You were going to leave him for a woman you barely knew. I know, he choked out. I've been sitting here 2 days thinking about what I've done. I was terrible. I thought if I hurt you, I'd feel free. But I just feel empty. Do you want to know what I've been doing these 3 months? What? Planning for exactly this. I told him everything. The trust fund. $42,000 protected in Caleb's name. The documentation. My conversation with Brittany. You knew. Derek whispered. You knew what she was? Yes. And you let me go anyway? You made your choice. I just protected Caleb. Silence. Airport announcements in the background. Why did you help Brittany leave? Because I needed you to face this alone. You needed to understand what matters. You orchestrated this, he said slowly. You knew she'd leave when the money ran out. You planned for me to learn the hard way. Yes. Why didn't you just let me destroy myself? I closed my eyes. Because despite everything, I still believe you're a good person, Derek. You lost your way. But Caleb needs his father. And I needed you to find that version yourself. Derek was quiet for so long I thought the call dropped. I've been sitting here for days, he finally said, thinking about how I abandoned my family long before the divorce. How I put my selfishness above my son. And I want to come home. Not to fix our marriage. I destroyed that. But to fix myself. To be the father Caleb deserves. Will you help me? I agreed. But with conditions. The trust fund stays protected. Non-negotiable. Agreed. You meet every child support obligation. No excuses. Agreed. And you'll be a present father. Not a weekend dad. A real dad who shows up. Consistently. Forever. Rachel, Derek said, voice thick, thank you. Thank you for showing me the man you fell in love with still exists. It took 3 days in London to find him. I transferred money for his flight that morning. He landed 2 days later. His first stop was Caleb's school. I got a text at 3:15 p.m. Just picked him up. He ran into my arms and asked why I hadn't called. I'm going to spend my life making this right. I believed him. 6 months have passed since Derek returned. And he kept his word. He found an apartment 10 minutes away. He has Caleb every Wednesday and every other weekend. Never missed once. He shows up to conferences. Coaches soccer. Covers expenses beyond what's required because he wants to. Last month, Derek texted at midnight. Caleb asked if I was happy. I realized this is the first time in years I can say yes. Being a real dad has made me happier than anything. I feel free. Free from pretending. Free from running. Thank you. Derek and I didn't get back together. The damage was too deep. But we became real co-parents. Partners in raising our son. Caleb is thriving. 2 parents who love him, who cooperate. Last week, he said, everyone smiles now when we're all together. He's right. Everyone does. Derek texted last night, you could have destroyed me legally. Financially. But you chose to help me become better. That's perfect revenge. Helping me find who I should have been. I'll always be grateful. I read that twice. Then looked at Caleb sleeping peacefully. My revenge wasn't destruction. It was transformation. Protecting my son while forcing his father to become the man he always could be. Because sometimes, the greatest victory isn't watching someone fall. It's helping them rise better than they were before. And that's true justice, where everyone wins. Did you enjoy the story? If so, hit like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe. Thanks for watching Revenge with Keisha. See you next time.